Alright, today we are going to do a thermostat in the cold, which is fun. On my 13 Abarth, they're kind of a pain to do if you've never done one. I've done one on my non-turbo, and it was a pain, so I expect this to be worse. But the first step is to take off the air oil separator. If you don't have this on, you'll have another hose, but basically take this hose off, this hose off. I can leave this on, but if you don't have this, take that hose off. There's a bolt here, and then one kind of tucked back here. And then I'll be right back once that is out of the way. Also, 10 millimeter bolts to take that off. All right, AOS is off. Check for oil seepage. You can see I have some. There's an O-ring right here that should be replaced periodically. I forgot to actually buy one, so I will have to take this off again later. Anyway, while the AOS is off, it's a perfect time to clean it. There are lots of videos on cleaning these, but the gist of it is to spray carb cleaner into each port and then shake it out, let it dry. This is also a good time to replace your PCV valve. I'll put the part number in the description below. You don't have to replace the whole AOS brick. You can just do the PCV valve. It's also pretty good preventative maintenance. It certainly is not necessary if you've got small hands. I don't. The thermostat, I'll try and get to it. That hose way back there is the main hose that runs to it. So you can see it's pretty cramped. I don't want to take off this vacuum pump because I just don't want to. I've broken these plastic nipples off here before. You can't buy them. You have to buy a whole pump, and they're really expensive. So I'm going to remove the battery and the battery tray. The battery, of course, is just two 10 millimeter nuts on the post. Pull that off, battery will lift out, and then, take off this 13 millimeter hold down bolt. The battery will lift off, and then I'll come back. There's only, I believe, 3 bolts holding the tray in, and that should give us quite a bit more room. So I'll be back after that. All right, battery's out. I had to do some shenanigans because my terminal, my terminal's bad, but it's okay. There are 3. There's a nut down there, these 2 bolts. They're all 13s. Once you take those out, the whole ECU will lift out. So to take the ECU off, pop those tabs, and then lift. Make sure you come the whole way back, and then it will lift off. Push it out of the way. And there you go. Now your ECU is free to come out with the battery tray. It would appear that the guy before me was in here already. This piece is usually stuck here and it just pops off. The guy before me broke it. And then you've got 2 more push pins here. You can just grab them and pull them out with a pair of pliers or even with your hands. Just be careful you don't damage the wiring. So once the tray is out of the way, I will come back and see if this was worth doing to give me more access to the thermostat. Just coming back because I forgot, on the back side of the battery tray there is another clip that holds the positive terminal in. This style of clip with a flathead can be opened up and the cable can be removed, or like the other ones you can just pop it out. Alright, I actually thought it was worth coming back again because there are I swear my other one didn't have these. But there are, as you can see, 1, 2, 3 more wire holders that hold that wire there. So be mindful of that as well. I will be right back once I clean up the bolts I dropped, and then we'll take a look and see what all we can see. All right, so it was definitely worthwhile doing that. However, this is still a tight, miserable job. All right, so that Torx bit right there has to come off. The metal pipe running to it is, if I recall, just held in with the bolt and a O-ring. Because Fiat is dumb, on both spots where the hose goes, they used one-time use clips. So that metal clip needs broken, which that one's not too bad. However, it's hard to even see it because my phone won't focus. Let's try to manually focus it. Oh, there it goes. Ooh. That one also has to get broken. I'm going to come at it from this far side after I take off these two clips. The one's just a push clip, which is a real bugger to get to. The other one, I don't actually remember. I believe it also is just a pressure clip. I think on that one you have to push the clip forward and then come back, like push it forward and then pull it back. I will have to do it and then let you know, because frankly I just don't recall. It's definitely more cramped on the turbo cars. On the non-turbos, pretty much all of this wiring isn't here. This is also a good time, by the way, to check your transmission mount. Mine actually looks pretty good. So yeah, I am going to pop the cap off of the coolant tank just to relieve some pressure to try and minimize coolant loss, but last time I did this I didn't lose a whole lot anyway. So I'm going to fight with all of this crap. Not looking forward to it. But once I start taking things apart and remembering how they come apart, I'll come back and make little clips to explain tolls and whatnot. So I'll be back shortly. Alright, so this, just like last time, is significantly worse than you imagine. So we got the main hose off, we got that little Torx bit on that metal hose off. So last time I did this, the hose is stuck on. You can probably see as I was trying to get that clip off, the plastic just shattered. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. And I can't get the other one off because its clip is starting to break too. So what I'm gonna do is just take it off, the actual housing off, and hopefully can take the hoses off. You can see this is how it's mounted to the car. This top bolt, the top right bolt, is very easy to get to. The bottom left one's kind of buried, but with the tray out of the way, it's pretty easy. It is tucked, try and go down here too, back there. Can't really see it, but you can feel it pretty easily. So once I take those off, I should be able to move everything out enough to hopefully get a better grip on it and get these clips off and then figure out what I'm gonna do, because I don't even know where this hose runs. I guess I could follow it real quick. It runs, thankfully not too long or far. It seems to just run right here. Anyway, I'm gonna take this off and hopefully that'll give me access to everything. I just want to stress again, while you're in here, be careful, because this hard plastic tube runs back above where you're working. And again, it's plastic, it's fragile, it will break, and if it breaks, it's expensive. So don't break that. All right, I will be back after I get that second bolt off the bottom. All right, we got it off. Holy hell, is that just not, that's just not fun. The clip, of course, broke. I'm going to go down to the parts store. You got some crap in there. I'm going to go down to the parts store and see if they have any repair pieces that I can use. If they don't, I'm going to cut the plastic piece off and just press the hose down over this and clamp it on real good and hope that it holds. I did end up getting this clip off. On the back side, the part we're looking at now, there's a yellow tab that needs lifted up. And then with your free hand, push on the locking tab and then pull the connector and it'll snap right out. Getting this hose's factory one-use clamps off was terrible. My hand is cramped, but finally came off. So we're most of the way there now. After half the car's tore apart to change a freaking thermostat. I also unhooked the connector for that map sensor. Just the wire kind of moved in the way of everything. This made it a little bit easier to get to. I'm now gonna walk down the block, borrow a friend's car to go to the parts store, see if I can find a repair piece for that. I have my doubts that I will, but if I do, I will put that part number in the description as well. Alrighty, we will be back once I get back from the store. Alright, so the new one is officially bolted down. So I did end up finding a piece at Advanced Auto Parts that will work to repair this. As you can see, all of the awful clamps that Fiat uses from the factory I replaced with normal worm clamps. That will be the case for the main hose as well. Right now I have the two main bolts on. Just get another look at them. Now I'm going to put the Torx bolt back into that. My apologies, I still don't know what size Torx that is. I lost my Torx set. I ended up just grabbing it gently with a pair of vice grips and it came right off. That's how I'm going to put it back on. But at this point, all I have to do yet is plug the map sensor back in, plug that quick connect onto the thermostat, and the plug back onto the temp sensor. That Torx bolt goes back on. The hose gets back or put back on, and then battery tray and the battery goes back on. I will come back once everything's bolted back up, and we'll bleed the cooling system a little bit, make sure nothing's leaking, which hopefully it isn't, because then we'll have to pull it all back apart again. So fingers crossed, but I will return shortly. All right, so we are spilling antifreeze everywhere, but we're going to top this off. Normally, of course, you do not fill this the entire way like a psycho. I am doing that so that it can bleed, and that's it. So now we'll start her up, hopefully. Alright, that's a good sign. Turn the heat up to max. And for some reason people say to do that. Wait. It'll bubble some coolant as it picks up the temp. And temp and we'll check for leaks, and hopefully there are none, and if there are no leaks, then we're good to go. Alright, final video. It took an eternity, but it is up to temp. I actually don't know what's steaming, but I think it's just coolant that spilled burning off. Anyway, you can see back there, it is dry. We'll keep an eye on it throughout the next few days, of course. But as of now, it seems to be okay. Hopefully this Motorad thermostat isn't junk, because they're kind of hit and miss with quality, but I don't know. We'll see. Also, these wheels are for sale. Somebody buy them. Anyway, this video is kind of all over the place. I know it's not the most well done, but we'll give you a rough idea of how to go about changing it anyway. So, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them. I'm not a professional by any stretch of the word. I just don't want to pay somebody to do this crap, so I do it myself. Oh no. I guess it's about time I replace that too. Oh well, have a good day everyone, and I hope you thought this was helpful. If you did, give it a like, throw a sub, you know, do all the YouTubey stuff, I don't know. Alright, bye.